Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are still talking about food hygiene, and today we'll be talking about food sanitation and public eating places. So under food sanitation, the public authorities that are in charge of food hygiene must ensure that 1. The meat that is produced is fresh and free from parasites and other contaminants. That's 1. Then the public authorities also have to ensure that milk produced is free of tuberculosis bacteria. So tuberculosis can easily be spread through milk. So the milk that is produced, it must be properly checked to ensure that it is free of bacteria that can cause tuberculosis. Then vegetables, it has to be ensured that vegetables are fresh and free of toxic chemicals, especially insecticides. So you have to make sure that the vegetables that are produced are fresh and they do not have toxic chemicals in them, because in farms, many farms are sprayed with different kinds of chemicals like insecticides. So we have to make sure that these kind of chemicals have not gotten into the vegetables that we want to eat. So the vegetables that are produced must be fresh and free of toxic chemicals. Then we also have to ensure that foods like cakes, bread, akara, food like that are not covered, are prepared and displayed under hygienic conditions. So most foods that are just bought maybe by the roadside, or they are not, that foods like cake, bread, things like that, we have to ensure that they are prepared and displayed under hygienic conditions. Also, we have to ensure that canned and preserved foods are safe and free from harmful chemicals and pathogens. So some canned foods are usually fitted with some unsafe chemicals. So we have to make sure that all canned foods and preserved foods, foods that are packaged, do not have these harmful chemicals in them. And also we have to ensure that they do not have pathogens in them. Also, these authorities must ensure that food is not adulterated. We have to ensure that the food that we eat the food that is produced hasn't had something else added to it. So we have to ensure that food is unadulterated. Now let's talk about public eating places. So public health inspectors should regularly check public eating places like restaurants and hotels and inns, places that food is eaten in the public, that are not the home. So they have to check the restaurants, they have to check the kitchens of hotels and inns also, to ensure that they meet the required sanitary standards. Now if they do not meet these standards, they are given a warning initially, and if they still fail to meet up with the standards, their license to do business is withdrawn. So this has to be ensured to protect the public eating places, because food is what we take into our body and the food must be hygienic. Now public health inspectors also have to ensure that the food handlers, like the cooks, the kitchen helpers and waiters, undergo regular medical checkups, because they're the ones that handle food. So you have to make sure that they themselves are not carriers of infectious diseases. So they also have to ensure that food handlers maintain a high standard of personal cleanliness. We have to make sure that the food handlers themselves are practicing proper sanitation, so that they do not spread germs and diseases into the food we eat. So that is that about food hygiene. So we are still talking about public health, and in our next video we'll be talking about control of diseases. See you in our next video.